Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. This is the place to be. If you're looking to try to heal thyself, this is the place to be. We teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to your happiness and your wellness. All right, so this is a free information station, you guys. Y'all ain't got to pay for nothing that you hear here today. The only thing that you got to do is pay attention, and how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right, and I'm gonna work for mine. But as we do this, I want you guys to understand that we're simply trying to teach you that your health is simple, and it's not just about your physical health, but it's about your financial health, your relationships, your social belonging, all of the stuff that make you who you are. There is a more simplistic way to do this than to take medications, than to go to the pharmaceuticals, than to go to the inorganics, than to go to the vitamins and minerals, than to go to the liquid minerals, than to go all off the Richter scale. There's things in your house, there's things in your life, there's things in your heart, there's things in your body, there's things in your abilities that you can do, that you can be encouraged to birth and create within you, that can be the answer, the solution to a lot of our problems. It's within you. And sometimes, now I'm just going to be real with it, sometimes you can't do it in the physical because the problem is not to be solved from the physical aspect. So a lot of times you can get into a financial problem that seems that intellect can't solve. A lot of times you can get into a medical situation physically that it seems like the machines and man's intellect can't solve. And a lot of times you can get into life situations where it seems as if there is no man's answer to your problem. And so therefore we have to go through another way, another route to get the answer for you. If it ain't in man, it is in nature. If it ain't in man, it is in God. If it ain't in man, so what I'm saying is that you say you're believing, but everything you're going to for answers is to man, because you don't know how to really talk to God. Because see, what the best they ever taught us was to just get us to the middle of the road. See, when you get to a mediator stands in the middle of the road. A mediator is in the middle. A median is the middle man. So the bottom line is you only get me to the middle, but not to the top. And some of you guys are looking, the services that you're needing got to come from the top. The middleman can't do it. The middleman will take too long to relay unless the middleman know how to do it itself, right? So what we're trying to teach you is how to get into this mentality where you can go over into this realm and bring back your solution. And it's through imagination you can do that. It's through dreams. It's through daydreaming. It's through meditation. It's through thoughtfulness, mindfulness, all kinds of ways you go over there. And you don't got to do it when you die. You can go over there when you live. Okay, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get there. The misnomer that I'm seeing in young people all across the planet that's on social media today, I'm finna go there. Yeah, I got to go there. You know, cause I got to go there because folk think that if you don't know the truth, you'll always live by your own truth. You got to measure your truth up to the truth. Don't measure your truth up to my truth. Don't measure your life up to my life, but measure it up to the life, the truth, and what that means. That's why we talk to you about teaching you about the human frame and the human design so that you can measure it up to that, not me. I got faults and flaws too. You don't want to measure shit up to me. You want to measure it up to the measurement. The measurement ain't me. And a lot of people sometimes think, well, you know, because you get this egotistical thing about you because you're creating a platform or creating a business or creating what design for your life, you get too egotistical to where you can't really learn. You're not humble enough. I've been humbled a long time ago. And so the best teacher is the best student. And so I come on y'all platforms and I give y'all a ability to talk to me and be able to, so I can learn more. because I'm a student that way. But you got a lot of people that think that they sitting on the top of the pendulum and they can't be told what to do. Therefore, when you see a stiff-necked person, you also see a substance that's not effective. If you're not flexible and immutable and able to, you know, and in mind, you don't got to do it in that moment, but still have that ability, is the ability of a great leader, is to be a great student. Okay. And what's happening is, the question that I'm proposing to you is, what if the Bible is being taught wrong is wrong? Okay. What if the Bible being taught wrong is wrong? And then what if you not believing in God at all is wrong, right? So you're saying that, yeah, the preaching is wrong. That's one thing. And then you say, well, God ain't real because of the teaching being wrong. So then that's another. So one of them is I believe, but I'm being taught wrong. The other one is that I don't believe at all. Now, what if both of those are wrong? So what if I'm telling you that it is important for you to read the Bible because it is not, yes, it is being taught wrong. So we got to get that, put that in there. So you don't need to read it until it's taught right. But what if it's taught right, what's in it is actually right for your life? So what if not believing in it the way that is actually written for you is wrong? So if you don't believe in it, you don't get to decode it. And if you're being taught wrong from it, you don't get to decode it. So the decoding, a lot of people say, well, you're acting like you just got to know this and got to know that. No, you don't have to read the Bible to be spiritual, and you don't have to read the Bible to decode life. You don't, because there should not be a reason for you to have to read a book to learn human experience. You should just watch humans. And far too long, we've been navigating this life without written literature. So you don't necessarily need that. What the Bible is chronicalizing is the journey from of consciousness, from it being in prison till it being free. That's the journey. What's going on, right? That's the journey, right? So now that you understand all of the characters and all of the stuff that you're reading about in that particular paradigm, is about this thing here. Consciousness. There ain't never been an Adam or Eve or Moses or Joshua or Ezekiel or anything, but they represent certain things, right? So when you're looking at the book of Genesis, you can't look at it as some folks that's really, you know, all the bloodlines. Who was keeping bloodlines? Who had the blood test? Who was keeping the blood lineage? Who knew the records? And then if so, why isn't, you know, see, you don't know that Jesus come from the root of Jesse. See, you got to go back to the country to know about this stuff. So you don't know that the root of Jesse. See, the root of Jesse is where David come from, and then David came out of. Then Jesus came out of the same root of David. So you had Jesse, then you had David, then you had Jesus. And a lot of folks don't know nothing about Jesse because you got to go genealogy. See, when you look at Methuselah, you got to understand genealogy. Methuselah was a child of somebody before it was the longest living person. And you got to know what these people are and who these people are and what these characters mean. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that is the part of consciousness that's being missing from the teaching. So therefore, you can't tap into something because you're not being taught properly how to do it. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that the journey that consciousness is going through, this ain't the first time. So the Bible is a book teaching you of the journey of consciousness, coming from its lower state to its highest state. Genesis is the birth of consciousness, coming from the lower state. You came out of the womb, the lower state of the being. Consciousness was birthed out of God, out of the lower state of God. So the earth would be considered the lower state, not negative, not bad, not wrong, just the lower state. It's a place, it's an area, it's a place, right? It's a being, a state of being. So the earth is going to be considered that lower place, that lower self, not bad, not wrong. So consciousness is coming into this thing, and its sole journey is to reach everlastingness. And the reason why is if you don't, you run out of time. I really just want to stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't understand where I'm coming from. This is an ongoing saga. I'll continue to keep teaching you guys this stuff. But I don't really like to get in the weeds because sometimes babies don't understand. Sometimes they just need a little milk. They can't eat off the table. But consciousness journey, that Bible is just trying to show you how everybody was trying to understand how it goes from being in prison of the body to being free. And so, therefore, Genesis is the birth of duality and thought. It ain't got nothing to do with no birth of Adam and Eve. It ain't got nothing to do with that. And Exodus is the liberation of ego and emotion. It ain't got nothing to do with you riding through no Red Sea. It didn't happen. But what did happen is humans being on the planet to record the journey of consciousness and the hope within that. That one day we can get to that everlasting concept, that there was a person that came in the form of consciousness. You would call Jesus the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, whatever, but they just came explaining consciousness a lot like Amenhotep. Amenhotep, Imhotep. But what I was gonna say was a lot like what his name is? What my boy name is? Akhenaten. Right? Change the script up from what it is. When Jesus came, it was the Mosaic law. And wasn't nobody higher than Moses before Jesus. You say something about the Moses. Boy, you say something about Moses. You finna break Moses' law. You know, but you can't come down here and break no Moses law. And before Moses, it was Moses' brother, the Aaronic law. No, see, y'all don't get taught this stuff. But these laws ain't nothing but principles and disciplines coming from the consciousness. There wasn't really no Aaron to present a law. There was really no Moses to present a law. So then what does Moses represent? The heart. Adam represents the what? The body. Eve represents the mind. I keep trying to tell y'all this over and over and over again. Peter represents the solid foundation of your thoughts. So on this rock I stand. On this solid rock I stand. That means when I am made up my mind, I will not be deterred. Peter is a consciousness, not a real Peter person. So then when you understand that this Bible now is talking about consciousness journey of freedom, is trying to get free. And the freeness is crossing over Jordan. The freeness is being in the 40 years of wilderness and then getting into the promised land. The freeness is the 400 years of enslavement, but then let my people go. The freeness is somebody teaching this to you. And not in that way anymore because it's not working in that way. So we must teach it in a different way for you to understand that those are not real people. So don't measure yourself up to those people. That's where you're coming wrong at. You're trying to measure yourself up to Peter, Paul, and John. That ain't what you're supposed to be doing. You got to be looking at your consciousness and understanding, can it escape before your time runs out? If you can escape this without dying. See, because when you die, you leave here prematurely. Then what you don't suppose. That's why reincarnation is a thing, because death is a thing. You don't supposed to die. Remember, it's everlasting life. Are they teaching you how to do it? Do you have the science on how to do it? Because ain't nobody did it yet. So the bottom line is, it's a science to this that's trying to get you to understand that consciousness was birthed in the lower realm. Yes, because it's the flesh. So this consciousness in the lower realm, the Bible calls it the carnal mind. Carnal mind doesn't mean your body. It means your fleshly mind, meaning that it's just a mind stayed on the things that are on the lower self. A carnal mind is something that just focused on life itself, not God. So when you say you don't believe in God, that's a carnal mind, because you believe in yourself. The flesh does everything. That's a carnal mind. It ain't got nothing to do with wrong or right, or this, that, and the third. It's just that you believe in you. You believe in the power of the flesh. If I go do it, I make it happen. If I do this, I do that. That's a carnal mind. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it is something wrong with that. You understand that when you put too much focus in the carnality of the design, then you'll you'll burn out, right? So then this right here is the carnal mind. Right? The carnal mind, like I said, it ain't nothing but being a professional flesher. You like everything here. I want the money, the house, and the car. Suppose. And yeah, I know that song. I just want to be successful. That's the carnal mind. The carnal mind is, I just want to be successful. I want the money, the house, and the clothes, and the house. Suppose. Y'all go look that song up. That's a carnal mind. It ain't got nothing to do with wrong. It's got something to do with trying to professionalize that which your space you're in because you haven't been taught about the other part of this. Because this other part been taught to you about, you get there when you die. You're not learning it how to get in there when you're alive. You know what I'm saying? So you just waiting on death to experience it while you live. Over here again, instead of having to tap into this while you die, you can get into a sleep state and get into this, a dream state and get into this, a meditative state and get into this, a mindful state and get into this, a focus and concentration state and get into this part over here without ever touching death. Because see, when you just rely on death, there's no coming back. So you went over there and got an answer, but you can't come back to a body that can't be revived. We can't rebirth you through the physical. We can rebirth you through the consciousness, through the mind. Okay? So that's what we're teaching you here. So Psalms and Proverbs never happened. Nobody wrote Psalms. Nobody wrote the Proverbs. But what this was telling you about the heart and the inner wisdom coming through in this journey. Remember that the Bible is about consciousness journey to freedom. It started in prison because it started in ignorance. It started in little to none information about this other. Tell that the 40 years of wilderness is not about being in the woods. It's about not being enlightened to the other aspect of you. You're in the dark to the other part of you that is operating every single day, whether you believe this or not. You don't have to go to church to operate this. You're operating it, but you're operating it off of mistake, incident, and accidental. And we're trying to teach you how to do it intentionally. Okay? So the Gospels are not about people talking about it, but it's about birth of the consciousness in the body. So all the Gospels are telling, right? They're go tell it on the mountain. Well, what are you telling? I'm telling you that consciousness is here and it's teaching us. Therefore, you had witnesses of consciousness. So you had a tax collector. The finances was witnesses. Your finances was witness to your consciousness. You had a physician. Your health was a witness to this consciousness. See, all of the systems that you think run you, consciousness came in and said, I got authority over the tax. So the tax collector said, I saw it. Yeah, he did. And so the consciousness came in and said, I got control over your health. And so then the physician in Luke came in and said, yeah, I witnessed that too. And y'all don't want to understand. See, but we're trying to get you to understand that there was never real people. It was just getting you to understand that this is happening, is going to happen, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And this is the promised land that Martin Luther King told you about. This is everything that whoever you're reading about told you about. And it's because you got to be able to see it. And this is what they're keeping you from seeing and keeping a veil over your eyes. As long as you're measuring yourself up to people, you'll never be able to see God. Your measurement is an angelic being, not physical beings. Your measurement is the God body, not the physical body. So therefore, if you keep hollering about you a God, then you got to understand how to access that. And money don't make you access it. That's what I'm trying to say. Even Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they had to witness that when that came, it was powerful, more powerful, and more structured and more influential than the systems. Even the Mosaic law, which was the king of it all. Even Caesar couldn't. This man, this consciousness had so much influence over the systems, over the people. See, because sometimes Caesar thought I got the influence. Sometimes when you in the hood, your little people who run in the hood think they got the power in certain levels. But this consciousness came at every level to show everybody that even the low level, I got it. The middle level is me, and at the top level, I got it. I can influence everybody anywhere on any level because I'm not real man. I'm a real consciousness that can come upon the earth. but it got to be set free. And the stories that you're reading in the Bible are inspired by men that saw the freedom of the consciousness. And they wrote about it in parabolistic form as an initiation process for those that who can decode would be one that would be considered the called and the chosen. That's all it is. It's just an initiation process. If you get it through the word that they wrote, then you got it. You're supposed to have it, and you're the one. If you read it literally, even the book tells you that the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. So if you're reading about a letter, come on, y'all, stop. The spirit giveth life. You can't follow God intellectually. That means you can't follow God by law. There's got to be something else. And so Act came in and told you about the integration and the harmony. You thought it was about the Holy Ghost and Pentecost. That was representations of how the consciousness was able to be integrated and then were able to provide harmony to those that you would think Jesus left behind because he got transfigured. Acts, he got transfigured. Now this is all about Paul and the rest of them, but you see how it got integrated and began to be able to create harmony within the people because it was a consciousness. So even though the body of Jesus died, the consciousness was left behind because that's all it was. And when you're teaching this, you're teaching people about how to have the mind of Christ, which you're teaching them about how to have this consciousness. And this consciousness was a nakedness, a vulnerability, a innocence that was not allowed to be taken away between an individual human experience and its connection with nature. The story of Jesus is about consciousness not allowing itself to be separated from the source. And when you do that, you find your way back home. When you do that, you find your way back home. The prodigal son or woman. When you do that, you find your way back home. Adam and Eve. When you do that, you find your way back home. Okay. And so then revelation doesn't mean the end of anything. It means resurrection. That resurrection is symbolic of when you get into a oneness with your consciousness. That oneness is the same thing I told you about just then with Christ. It's just the oneness with your five senses and the environment that you're in. You're supposed to be so sensitive. Senses, your five senses. You're supposed to be so sensitive as men and women. I ain't talking about no female and I ain't talking about no gender sensitivity. I'm talking about gifting. You're supposed to be so keen in your sight, in your hearing, in your smell, and in your taste that you know right from wrong from senses, and you understand how not to create a lifetime of mistakes and incidents and accidents. But that sense is supposed to be so heightened that every time you make a decision, it's the right motherfucking one because it's in abundance, and that is the consciousness that can get you to everlasting life. You got to stop making the mistakes and the accidents and the incidents that will take your life, that will shorten your time. So therefore, I'm teaching you how to enter into this space before your ass die from that cancer. You can go on over there and come back with the answer in the dream, in the imagination, in the creativity, in the focus, in the concentration of healing thyself. That ain't something that medication can do for you. That's not something that the pastor can do for you. That's not something that your therapist can do for you. You got to be able to conjugate up this science in you. And with your owner's manual, that's what we're teaching you how to do. Okay? Let's keep it moving. I got some receipts, you guys. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. I brought receipts today. Yes, sir. I got to be on fire today, man. Y'all know it be days like this. I got to bust you upside your head. Okay? We got to. All right. Genesis to Revelation, the journey of consciousness. Okay. So now you understanding that these things are not people, but they have always been man's intuition, man's goal has always been to live in an environment where consciousness can run free, where consciousness can blend in with the consciousness of the planet and be able to have a symbiotic, angelic relationship that could be perceived as godlike. But the more we get caught up in our own human demands and the more we get caught up in our own human construct, then that particular evolution in man seems stagnated because all we're measuring up to be is mere humans.
All you're measuring up to be is mere human, somebody like somebody else you know. Nobody's really trying to get to this particular level of, you don't have to devalue the body to get there. Let me say this, okay? Because this is the problem with and our wars. Because the first initiation was that the lower self was the worst part of you. They didn't teach you carnal mind like I just taught you. They taught you your flesh ain't hear no shit. So you had a lot of people take this literally. The letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. You got a lot of gurus and monks and all these folks sat up on the trees and fasted and starved themselves physically to the raw bone to death. They got over here but couldn't come back. You know why you can't come back? Because you devalue the importance of this part of your paradigm. You can't, God doesn't, if you believe to exist without your body, because that's where the senses and the programming of God is. Your senses and your programming of God is in your body. It's not in your death. You got taught God in life. So the only way you're going to enjoy it is in life, where you understand it to be God. When you die, your English goes away. When you die, your tribal language is no longer spoken, because it's only a programming in you while you yet live. When you die, those senses and that programming gets resolved. It gets resolved. It's no longer there. So if you was with heaven, you don't describe it as that any longer. If it is a reincarnation, you don't know the word for it any longer, because English ain't spoken on the other side. Tribal languages ain't spoken on this side of the fence. So then why would we want to try to enjoy something at a time that we can't see it for what we've created it to be in our own mind? If you want heaven the way that you think and wrote it for it to be, you got to design it in your life. That's not one on the other side of darkness. On the other side of darkness is back to black, back to nothing, back to knowing nothing in the way that you didn't know before you came here. That consciousness is white blank. That's why you don't know nothing when you come back in, because at death it's white blank, so that anybody can surcharge it, supercharge it. It could be a white baby this time, an Asian baby in there. It could be this, it could be that. Anybody get that blank canvas. It has nothing attached to it, so that when it comes in, it can learn Spanish, come from a Spanish family. It can come from an Asian family. It can learn, it come from an African family. It can learn, because the slate is clean. So I'm saying to you, death it's the slate clean. There's nothing over there that you're going to recognize as what you see it here. There's nothing over there that you can label something, because you won't go over there with the labels. The labels die with you, baby. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The labels, the programming, it all dies with you. If you want this, you got to create this in your life. And the story of Jesus is just a consciousness that said, hey, you can do it. That we can do it. And it was all about following the Son. And a lot of people didn't understand the parables of him talking about him being the Son and following Jesus and him being the vine and the light and the truth. See, that was the thing about it. That was metaphorically speaking. That the greatest aspect back then was land, was the environment, was nature. And so if you want to be something back then, you didn't say you wanted to be Michael Jordan, motherfucker. You're going to say you want to be the Son. The greatest thing back then wasn't humans, because humans didn't have nothing for you to want to be them. So then you took natural aspects and said, that's the greatest aspect, then I'll be the Son. Just like we know now in English about gods. So now you say, well, God created the Son. Guess what your motherfucker gonna have walking around here talking about? You want to be a God. You are God. Right. So same thing with them. But so it wasn't God back then, because then nobody write a book about God and saying the word God. So therefore they took Son in the real nature and said, I want to follow the Son. And so consciousness came by and said that if you understand the Son's path, if you can follow, if consciousness can understand the path of the Son, this is the path of the Son. Real talk. This is an electromagnetic sound wave, but this also called the ecliptic of the Sun. What I'm showing you is the pattern. And so Jesus was saying that consciousness is like this pattern. And this pattern is the map to freedom. It's consciousness journey to freedom. But see, sometimes what y'all don't like is the downs of life. So you struggle with when the sun go down in your life. You're struggling. Thank you. When the sun go down in your life, you're not accepting the life's path, the sun's path. You're not accepting that it goes up sometimes, but it also sets. You're not accepting the set time of life. You're not accepting this down the hill, this valley sometimes, right? All you want and all the children want and everybody want to just dream of just want to be up in him. But that ain't following the Son of God, the real Son. Because what you don't know is that when the sun is here, it's bright. It's bright when the sun's here. It's bright when the sun's here. But when the sun is here, it's also bright. You ain't never seen the sun go dark. It's just that when the sun is not there at a place, because it's not your time. The sun shines on a dog ass every now and then, but it ain't gonna always shine on your ass every day. That means that sickness is prevalent. That means that brokenness is prevalent. That means that loneliness can be a possibility. That means that abuse, addictiveness, all this can come in because the sun ain't always here, but it's always bright wherever it's at. It's never dark. So if you're in this time of life, you're still in the sun. And if you're in this time of life, you're still in the sun. Don't look at this as up and down. Look at it as what I'm trying to get you to understand, that the sun has never been dark. It travels up north and round about, but it never goes out. Now, if you ain't close to it, you're in the dark. But the sun itself is always illuminated, shining bright. It has never died. So why wouldn't I want to be like the sun? Everlasting brightness, everlasting illumination, everlasting source of power and energy, everlasting glory. That's what these people wanted to be like, man. It ain't got nothing to do with no people. It's a consciousness that can shine every day. So that consciousness that was brought on the earth was a consciousness that said that you can shine every day. It was a consciousness that was trying to get you to understand that it's through your consciousness that you can rebuild the systems. It's through your consciousness that you can rebel against the governments. It's through your consciousness that you can let freedom ring. It's through your consciousness that you can free the slaves. It's through your consciousness that you can be healed. It's through your consciousness that you can be revived. It's through your consciousness that I was transformed. It's through your consciousness that's going to get you to the point that you're looking for. All that story is about is consciousness journey from Genesis of being started in your carnal to revelation. It being revealed to you in your spiritual mind. Your spiritual mind is where we're trying to get you to. So we're tapping into higher dimensions, mind over matter. Yes. I'm feeling what you're saying. Thank you, sir. Okay. But a lot of young people are coming into this thing. Why we got to be so careful is because a lot of young people are coming in trying to bash stuff, and you're leaving a paradigm just because you are not being able to decode it. You're leaving something that is, yes, you're right. It's not about people. Those people aren't real, but it is a real principles, and it is a real understanding of the state of your consciousness. And what I'm saying to you is that you're written in there, but it's from a conscious state. Don't abandon the Bible because it's being taught wrong, and don't not believe in something because it's being taught wrong. You got to understand what is being taught. And what's being taught is your transformation. How many of you can come into this paradigm and transform? If you're a great woman, if you're a great person, a great man, great kids, and you've never done nothing against nobody, that's a good thing. But there's still transformation. It's not for you to just be good. It's for you to be godly. It's not just for you to be well. It's for you to be whole. It's not just for you to be doing some of this small time stuff. It's for you to be bigger and greater and expand. And you are settling for this little 50, 60, 70 years. I work and you clock out of life. But you're going down there to that church. So if you're going to clock out that easy, then why go down there and learn about everlasting life? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Why go down there to learn about everlasting life if now one of y'all ever going to try to do the shit? Huh? Let me talk to you in your motherfucking face. Why go down there to learn about this shit? And nobody's ever going to try to scientifically prove that you can live long as fuck. You don't scientifically prove everything else. But why we can't scientifically prove if everlasting life is a thing? You know why? Because you're just trying to do it from science. From a science standpoint, the answer is hell no. But when you're fucking with me and the information that we know ancestrally, that if you can heal yourself through spirit and get you a little bit of the way, and the spirit can take you the rest. Spirit gonna get you a little bit of the way, and science gonna get you the rest. They must be able to work together because science is man's intellect. It's limitation. Okay? It's limitation. Remember we talked to you about this yesterday. It's Saturn. It's time. Limitation is a time. If you limitation, you got a time on you. A lot of you guys are believing in science. Y'all don't believe in God. A lot of you guys are believing in science. You don't believe in that God that you say that you do on Sunday. See, you finna go there 2 more days from now, but a lot of y'all don't think you think you do, but you don't. You believe in this. So you under time's constraint. So then just ride out. What you holding on to? You stuck. You in the program. You in the matrix, baby. You stuck. Ride your time out. Stop trying to, I want to live. Why? Why would you want to stay here for everlasting in this mindset? Can we teach you how to get across the River Jordan? But you can't stay in this mindset. Remember that Adam and Eve got booped out of the Eden. Why? Because you can't stay there when you know what you know. You can't have everlasting life with what you, so you got to. So it's an even swap. Ain't no swindle. So you give me back your knowledge of good and evil, we can get you back in. Well, why would you want that for? Well, why do you need it? It's stressing you to be God. Look at you. You're a limited God with all that knowledge of good and evil. That knowledge of good and evil stressing your ass out. A little bit of ass God. Your ass dying talking about you a God. Motherfucking God. Gods don't die, man. Gods don't have death attached to their life. So you're not, but you're claiming that you are. That's the carnal mind, that you're running life off flesh. You got that right, but that don't mean it's right. You got that right, but that don't mean that it's right. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is how to introduce this new entrance to this consciousness is not only going to elevate you in your health, if that's what you're looking for here, it's also going to elevate you in all of the aspects of the human experience, including wealth and everything else that you're looking for. You have to add layers to yourself. That's a little bit more than what we're getting. So, okay. So we just told y'all about that, right? Genesis is the physical mind, right? We told you about the Exodus being the liberation, right? The cleansing, the will, the courage, the detachment. I purify and move forward toward freedom. It's about going to freedom. Consciousness journey. Psalms is telling you about the inner reflection, balance, compassion, insight, faith. Right? I listen to the voice within. I'm learning these lessons. Remember, it's about the journey of consciousness trying to get to its freedom, which is that revelation. Okay? The physical limitations of life. Consciousness, your spirit, your soul, whatever you say, is trying to escape the limitations of time. But you got to do it through life as you come back. How it was illuminated, meaning how they saw on earth. Literally, people were walking through earth. There were people, not just Jesus, but 12 and 13 and thousands of other people that was walking through with an illumination, with a higher consciousness. that was affecting the land, that was moving governments, that was turning over churches and old laws and old reforms that they were rebelling against the world the way that it was. That was the Gospels. And it was a time of illumination and union and forgiveness and truth. You say, because then they started to align themselves up with that which was true, which I am the light, right? Remember, we start off with that sometimes in I said that the light surrounds me. The light shines through me. I am the light. What I'm teaching you is that once you start getting past man, measuring yourself up to nature instead of man, that's when you're getting more power. That's when you get into your God body, is when you stop trying to be another person and you start to try to illuminate the facets, the aspects of nature itself, because that's where everlasting is at. It's in the sunlight. Okay. And then the next one was the embodiment. I know I spelled that wrong, but that's embodiment. And so the acts was all about the expression, the expansion, the harmony, the unity. I live what I know now, not what I believe. Okay. The acts was not about belief. The acts was that they knew. See, that's why you got the story of Doubting Tom, that to be what it needs to be. A lot of you guys, even our grandmamas, you're going down there for 30 and 40 and 50 years because you still doubting Thomas. You don't believe shit stank. See, so therefore you got to keep getting reiterated and reiterated about Jesus being real and alive because you doubting Tom. See, so the person that got to always have Jesus is the one can't do without Jesus, which is the doubting Tom. See, because you got to this thing is about empowering you to be like Jesus, not to be with Jesus. This thing's supposed to empower you to be like it, not to be with them all your life. And so there's a doubting spirit with somebody that's got to be so close and connected with me that you can't go out here and live the way I told you to on your own and create your own paradigm. That's consciousness in the way that we're trying to teach it. It's in you. It ain't in nobody else's name. It's in you. It's not with Jesus. It's with you. It's within you. It's within you, my sister and brother. So therefore, this consciousness is what he was trying to teach. Right? The consciousness is within you. You don't have to abide by laws. He said, upon all these laws hang these two things. Love thy neighbor as thyself, and love with thy mind, heart, and soul. He said, with all the laws hang on these two, which means to worry about breaking shit else. If you live by these two. Because you can't abide by the law of man. That's why the Mosaic, and you got to get into it about abiding by the law of love. And that's consciousness. The law of love is consciousness. The heart, representing Moses, Jesus, all of those represented that heart chakra, that crown chakra, right? So now we're understanding that we're trying to break out of limitation. Over here is limitless. You're limitless over here. So when you get caught up with your man diagnosis of your life, the bank called you broke, the folks called you lonely, the doctor called you sick. See, you get diagnosed as man. And then not only did they diagnose you with the problem, then can't nobody solve it for you over here. So you stand sick, stand broke, and stand lonely, right? And it's because you're under this limitation. So you don't know where to go because nobody's taught you this the right way. You don't get over here in the name of Jesus. You get over here every night when you sleep. You don't get over here by the name of Jesus. You get over here every time you are in the car and you driving and you ain't focusing on the road, but you still driving. That's over here. So you get over here when you sleep. You get over here when you dream. You get over here when you are in your you get over here when you're in your conscious state, right? But at the same time, I'm going to say meditate, concentrate, focus, daydream, tune out. You know, some people say you tuned out, whatever. All this time you over here to bring back answers to over here that can't be answered by the carnal experience. by consciousness being in the flesh. So you don't have to call the name. You're doing it all the day, all the time. Use it with intent instead of with accident, incident, and mistake. That's all we're trying to teach you guys. Any other questions? Any other questions? So this limitless is going to be ran by Uranus. Uranus is change, okay? Change. And if you're trying to conquer time, then you must get out of limitation. You must get off and up under Saturn or Satan, and you must get off and up under time. The only way you're going to do this, because you can't go nowhere. You can't leave Earth. So the only way you're going to do this, you can't go back into your mama's womb, and you can't leave Earth. So Earth, man, how in the hell is we going to reborn? How the hell are we going to do this then? I just told you, you're doing this shit when you sleep, when you dream, when you meditate, when you daydream, when you focus, when you concentrate, when you tune out, or when you tune in to something. That's when you're making these goddamn entries over here. And we just got to get you to do it for sickness and for finances and for this. But I know you say, well, I'm doing that for that. No, you ain't, because when you get in financial problems, you can't sleep. When you get stressed out, you ain't dreaming. When you get all discombobulated, you ain't meditating, you ain't praying. You can't focus and concentrate. Remember, I told you that when your sympathetic nervous system is going, there's reason and logic go out the door. When you're in your fight or flight, reason and logic, focus and concentration go out the door. So as long as these folks got you down here, and not even these folks, as long as ignorance, as long as you not knowing thyself keeps you from the greatest aspects of you that you're using very periodically, and you're using them for mundane things. And I'm trying to get you to use it for your real problems, because they can create real solutions for you. These are creating real problems for you. They'll create real solutions for you. Okay? These are creating real problems for you, but they can create real solutions. And we can teach you that with your owner's manual. This is a spiritual undergoing, the owner's manual. I know that people get it and they're just so happy that they got the herbs and the foods, and they got the nature-based interventions. Oh, okay, let me tell me when to go walk and when to do it's all fun to find it pretty, it look good, you got your little information in now. But don't take this lightly. What you got in your hand when you get your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50 and all of this information and work that goes into what you got to do. Not only just on my part, I'm talking about you the one got to put in the work. You pay that little $50, but you got a lifetime of work to accomplish what's on that $50 piece of paper. So it ain't about that little $50. It's about what you're going to do to bank on that. And that little $50 can make you 50 million if you focus and concentrate. And a lot of people take it lightly because it's just $50, which is why I denote the $50. Take it lightly if you want to. What you're getting into your palm of your hands is the way in to you to get you free to get here. And this is going to supercharge you and extend you, because the more better decisions you can make by discernment, by your five senses, the more we can heighten that. Again, if I got you in a great mind state, if you got cancer, you'll dream about something, and you'll daydream about something, or what'll happen is something will magnetically come to you via social media or friend at the grocery store and say, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but my uncle took this for colon cancer, and I don't know, it may be somebody in your family that got it, but if it is, tell them to go look up this. And get what? You the one who goddamn had colon cancer. But because you've been dreaming and focused and concentrating on healing, and you've been just meditating, and you've been trying to do everything, that sometimes you got to know it'll come to you. Damn, this man done made me magnetic. And then sometimes you already got the energy to be more electric and go get it. You go find it, and sometimes things will find you. And when we get you in that space, we're guaranteeing you that that'll happen, because we know it's been happening in your life. We ain't going off of nothing, no bullshit. We know that anytime you put your mind to something, you do it. We know that. When you want to smoke herb, You go out there and get your blunt. We know that. When you want to drink a bill, you go to the store, get your bill. We know that. If you want to knock a nigga upside the head for $5, we know you're going to do it, Rico. We know that. So we know the science behind. If you put your mind to it, it'll come to. That's all we doing, y'all. It's just for some reason, y'all lose y'all mind when they get on this other side. When they get to this sickness, these folks got y'all so goddamn scared that you don't use your own mind's power to get out of the problem. You got your mind's power, got your ass in it. It's only right for the same way in is the same way out. It's only right. And if we start learning it this way, then we'll start learning that medications ain't the answer. They can't get you out because the medications didn't get you into the problem. Some of y'all, very small few of you guys are fucked up physically and sick because of medication, but that's a far few. Most of you guys were sick to get medication. Only a small portion of us is sick because of medication. The most of us went in there with something and offered up our bodies to that inorganic demon, to that mechanical technology. And so what we got to understand is that, damn, this man right. That shit ain't going to heal me because I did get myself into this mentally with what was going on in my life and this, that, and the third. And sometimes you just need somebody to explain why you're doing it. I don't care because I don't care that you're fat, right? All we care about is what causes you to get that way. We don't care nothing about if you got, I ain't going, whatever it is, we're going to work on whatever. But we want to focus on not what you got, but how you got it. And if y'all ain't never heard nothing better than this, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but y'all keep on spending your little ragged ass money. That's fine, but I'm just trying to tell you that if nobody's talking to you like that, there's something wrong with you if you keep shopping with that person. You know what I'm saying? You got to get this holistic shit. It's got to be holistic from here on out. You got to say, deal with the whole me. Pastor, if you ain't got no herb to sell, Pastor, you don't really need to be talking to me because I need to go home with the remedy. The remedy ain't prayer just by itself. I need something tangible. You gave me the intangible. Now give me the tangible. What foods I need to eat. What things I need to do. Give me the remedy, Pastor, not part of the remedy. All of it. Somebody love me enough to give me everything I need. But the pastor say, no, I'm breaking laws to do that. And the doctor say, no, I'm breaking laws to get into religion. So therefore, why continue to offer them your body? Why continue to offer them your body and your money? They don't have a fucking belief in what I'm trying to tell you, but you don't have it. So that's fine. That's fine before, but it ain't fine after you know. It ain't nothing y'all can get me to do to go to the doctor around this mother. It ain't nothing you can get me to do to go to the doctor. Unless I just want to know the name or something. But then even then, to know the name of it, it gives me more information, but I know I can't deal with them with it. So we got to understand that we have choices and we have things that we need to be able to do, but you have to get into the proper consciousness of what you're trying to do in order to elevate yourself to this point. Has anybody know anybody that ever healed themselves? Does anybody know anybody out there that ever healed themselves? Okay, so you know that's possible. The one thing that you don't know possible is you've never seen anybody live forever. Okay? I'm teaching y'all something today. Okay? You don't see people get over sicknesses. You don't see people get broke and then the next day they got a job. You don't see people that was single and then the next 5 years from now they got Punkin got 2 kids and a married. You know what I'm saying? Folks change. Life change. So we've seen a lot of stuff. The only thing that you haven't seen that you've been taught is this right here. That's the only thing that you've been seeing. And even if you don't go to church, you'll still see this in culture. Okay? Because if you don't have to go to church to get this imprinted. You could watch Spider-Man and that'll get imprinted in you. You can watch He-Man and that'll get imprinted in you. You can watch Superman and that'll get imprinted in you. You can watch Batman and that'll get imprinted in you. You can watch Captain America, and this will get imprinted in you. You can watch all of the heroes and sheroes and cartoons, and this will get imprinted in you, and you never got to go to church to get this imprinted, but nobody's ever done it. Right? So the question is, hold on, I'm trying to remove this little picture real quick. The question is, why? I'm just giving y'all a little something, man. Keep it moving. Consciousness, right? The physical. This is talking about Genesis. Genesis is the physical, right? So the biological focus is the skeletal and the reproductive, the root chakra, right? And this is going to raise your cortisol and adrenaline. Remember that when cortisol and adrenaline go up, when your root chakra, your basic survival, your survival needs are not being met properly, then guess what? It's going to send your cortisol and adrenaline through the roof. Well, we already told y'all in the other video, when cortisol and adrenaline go up, your heart rate go up, your high blood pressure increase, you increase your blood pressure, you increase your blood sugar, and you suppress your immunity. Those three things happen when cortisol and adrenaline go up. But this is just the genesis. This is the beginning state of consciousness. When you're in the physical, that because you're in the lower self, in the physical, in your hellacious state of being, then guess what? That's going to create a lot of cortisol and adrenaline because it's a very stressful state of consciousness. The carnal mind wanting the flesh to do everything. Remember, you got the knowledge of good and evil. So you're playing God to your life is very stressful, especially when you're playing it against nature. You don't know the plan for nature for your life, but you're trying to come out here and formulate and run your life. So you're always playing against nature. I'm trying to teach y'all how to play with nature. Nature is on your team, but because you don't know the will of nature for your life, you only know the will that you've been programmed for your life. And a lot of times your programming goes against natural selection for who you are. That's going to cause rifts and dilts and delays and denials all up and down your life to where, yeah, you want to tap out when it's time. But if you came here and experienced abundance, now one of y'all will want to leave. And in order for you to experience abundance, you must experience the journey. Okay, so then that next one here, we know that that's Exodus, right? Emotional purification, exiting, right? So this is elimination. So we're eliminating that these emotional blockages that flood us. Remember that this is where the flooding and all this happens. So emotional purification, that flood is an example of being flooded by emotions, flooded by consciousness on the land. There was no deluge like the way you think. Okay, it was all about the consciousness and the emotions of the people. Even the Greek philosophy was about the Pandora's box. Well, what was the whole story about Pandora's box? That she let out all of this consciousness, this hellacious consciousness, this evil got played out. So that ain't nothing but the flood. Pandora's box letting out all of that evil ain't nothing but the same as the deluge and the flood of emotions, which is the Exodus, right? So guess what the Exodus do when you get into this emotional purification? It's going to deal with the digestive system and the liver, and it's going to deal with dopamine going up and cortisol going down. Now that's when pleasure go up, but that's when your energy go down, right? So the cortisol is the energy to fear, the fight or flight, to get up and do what you got to do. So Exodus ain't necessarily a bad thing because it create the balance right there. You see that up and that down. Now, heart intelligence, okay? So this was going to be the Psalms and the Proverbs, okay? So you see this, the cardiovascular, the thymus gland. So this is the heart chakra, if you want to live that way. But then you got your oxytocin and your endorphins go up. So now you see that the Psalms, singing, praising, Proverbs will bring you wisdom. This singing, song, and praising is coming because you've reached this consciousness of being one with the land, being one with God. That means that there's no separation, there's no enmity. You're not trying to take control until somebody tell you to be on co-pilot. That's all you're going to do. And at the end of the day, you got a perfect balance of spirit and science, a perfect balance of intellect and intuition. So therefore, your life is riding smooth, and that's why oxytocin and the endorphins go up. Well, when the oxytocin go up, that means what? I've created a bond. I've got love in my life. And then when the endorphins go up, I got what it takes now to do what? To ease my pain. If there is any pain, the endorphins are going to ease it. But it's because of the bonding. So now if my endorphins go up, I'm feeling no pain.
And guess what? You generate endorphins from singing, dancing, exercising, and moving around, right? Create endorphins. So you see how you went from that other element of Exodus now coming in to the Psalms and the Proverbs, okay? And so then next here we talk about the acts, right? The illumination process of where you're starting to see the consciousness being acted out upon the land is going to have an effect on the nervous, the pineal, and the pituitary, which is what you're seeing now. Why everybody's talking about the pineal, pituitary, and chakras. Why? Because this thing is ravishing the land. This illumination is coming in and it's starting to brew up a balanced serotonin. And then also it's starting to lessen your melatonin. And the reason why is because when you get illuminated, when you get enlightened, some of this stuff won't allow you to sleep good, won't allow you to keep you tossing and turning because you're always trying to get downloads and this, that, and the third, but you gotta recognize balance. But it's because of the illumination that's causing the edginess, that's causing the sleeplessness. And then once you get yourself under control again and get you some breathing and get some groundedness, you'll be okay. But that's what that affects, okay? The integration, right? We talked about this integration, right? Because we want you to understand what this is. This integration is going to be about what? The thyroid, the frontal brain is going to balance out serotonin and dopamine balance. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The integration is the good thing. Okay. And so that's what we're trying to get you to understand, this integration and this harmony that was coming from Acts, that was coming into Revelation. All these things was that we were starting to do it. We're here now. We're starting, but we ain't integrated it yet, because once you integrate it, you'll get a harmony. It's here, but there's no integration. The illumination is here, but no integration. So that means that you're getting good information, but wrong application. We're not applying what we're hearing. And then last but not least is transfiguration. That's what everybody wants. This is the journey. This is the journey of your consciousness going through the physical, the emotional, going through the love, going through the illumination process, the integration process, and then ultimately, hopefully, you can be transfigured. And this transfiguration is not from you being alive to dead. This transfiguration is from you being a physical body to being a spiritual body, that you're still a body, but that you're operating in your most highest spiritual consciousness. And this is about downloading what? This is when your biophotons and your emissions of DMT peaks. So you'll see that what I'm trying to teach you is that this is what the Bible was trying to teach you guys. The Bible ain't trying to teach you shit else. It ain't got nothing to do with people. It's got something to do with those gurus back then, and those sacred people understood the journey of man's consciousness. It went from a little caveman consciousness to what you got today. But you still got more to go. Okay. And what's happening is a lot of us are not learning this journey. So you make the journey get put up in physical skin and hair and race and titles. And so you always, those things are always going to be debatable when you wrap nature up in personification. And if you take consciousness off, you take personification off of consciousness and make it back free, instead of it being imprisoned to your etymology, to your to your translation, and allow it to be just as free going and free flowing as it was created to be, without you labeling it and then just experiencing it for yourself. Stop labeling this thing and just experience it for yourself. Okay? Stop labeling something wrong and experience it for yourself to know. Stop labeling shit right and experience it for yourself to know. Stop going into tomorrow with yesterday's label. And when you transform to begins, ends, while great teaching. Yes, thank you, LaDon. Okay, so that's what you need to know right there. So that's what you're going through. That's that consciousness that you're going through. A lot of you guys is in here somewhere. I'm in there somewhere. We're all there somewhere. We just need to understand how to categorize what we're having, what experience this is, what is it meaning to my life. And once we can really be real with those things, we can get you proper balance. All you got to do is just let somebody know the real you. I know some of y'all spouses don't know you. Some of your mamas don't know you. Some of your friends and family don't really know the fuck who you really is. And that is depressing, and that is stressing and oppressing, and that is not a great life to live in a nutshell. And there's a lot of us coming into this paradigm that feel that way. that we can't be real. You're going to judge me, that you're going to talk about me, that you don't want to be with me. If I tell you what I thought about a while ago, you might not want to be with me. If I tell you what I just really wanted to do, you might not like me. And so don't nobody really ever know the real you. But at the same time, ain't nobody ever really saw the real reality. So the consciousness has to leave this physical state at some point and go through this emotional purification, go through this heart intelligence, go through this illumination process, go through this integration process. And then ultimately, I hope that what I do before I transfigure is to be able to allow to teach somebody out there how to transfigure within their own life. Right? Because I've been transfigured. I've been dead for 3 days and rose again in a new light. And that dead ain't got nothing to do with me dying for real. Is killing some of the things in my life that was killing me. So I know how to kill things in my life because I've had to transfigure, to transform in order for me to have a future. So we know it's possible. And all I'm trying to get you guys to learn is that if you really learn that the biggest thing you must understand is that, yes, it is a decoder. It is an initiation process. If you can't get it, it's because you was not chosen to get it. It's a great book, but it has so many different levels of decoding that it takes for you to understand that the principles of it first. For you even try to decode it, you must understand the mind. Before you even think about reading the Bible, you must control your mind. Because when you was little and you read Little Red Riding Hood, you imagined that. And when you was little and you saw Superman, that was a figment of your imagination. And G.I. Joe and all these things, so you can't read that, but like that. So now you got to read the Bible with this childish vulnerability that is not in the characters, but in the meanings and the principles of those characters. And this is consciousness 101. The Bible is about the consciousness journey from Genesis to Revelation. When will you get the revelation in your consciousness? When will you get it? You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. You guys, if you got questions, concerns, if you guys want to come up, talk to me about the Bible or talk to me about verses or your life, mental, spiritual, emotional, put me in the chat. Somebody to bring you guys up, all right? Put me in the chat. Somebody bring you up if you want to talk about this a little bit further. We got about 45 minutes more to go. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. We halfway there to 100K, you guys. So let's keep on doing it. I did a great job today. This is a hard lesson to teach. I came up in ministry. I came up in Christianity, okay? This is a very, very, very weighty subject, very hard to teach this way, especially considering how I got taught it. And the people in my life that I love that got taught it the old way just got to listen to me say it this way. But at the end of the day, I do understand that everybody ain't got the same purpose of the spectrum. Some people going to be the head of the dog. Some people going to be the tail. Some people are going to be the toes. Some people are going to be the nose of the dog. So you got to look at it that we're all in the body together, but we all have different functionalities, right? So you know you got the fivefold ministry, the same. You got the fivefold ministry in the same body. So at the end of the day, my point is that I'm supposed to do something different. That's it. But I'm still ministering. I'm still bringing people to God, but under the real God, not the God of the people. As far as the gods of the persons of those people in the Bible, but the true God, which is your mind, having to be under some type of understanding about the power that it possesses. And you got people that are vying for your mind every day, and you don't know it. Because of your ignorance, you're creating industry around all of the things that's supposed to be truly your responsibility in this paradigm. And the less you keep fundamentally growing in some and developing in some of these areas because of the convenience of nature and the convenience of the world now, then the less you begin to be able to activate and be sensitive to the spiritual consciousness and unctions of the world. Remember those 5 senses. So you got to be very sensitive, okay? Very discerning, very sensitive, all right? If you guys got any questions, please come. Let me know. Look like I got somebody trying to come up here. Don't be scared of me, though. Let's freaking go, Coach. Scuba Steve. What's going on, Scuba? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cammy, what's going on? Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
I have a whole bunch of questions, but I guess I just want to start with where do you start on the journey? I went ahead and I've ordered my manual,
You already
but
been
I
on the
just want
journey.
to know, like, where do I even begin?
But see, that's my thing. Do you know how lost you done got? Because you already been on the journey. You started since you were born. So just think about somebody driving blind for the last 40, 50 years. So when you ask me right then and there, how do I get started? I'm like, good. You've been, life been started. And that's how far away from the house we done got. You done got so lost out here from the house that you can't find your way back when you've been driving this body. You've been driving this body and this life experience blind for 40 and 50 years. And the first question you ask is, where do I start? And I'm like, the car been running. So when we take your blinders off, don't get scared because you driving now. And the thing about it is, a lot of times when the blinders get taken off at the speed in which you're living, at the speed in which things are happening to you, you can get frightened to the reality that you've been driving blind. And but the thing about it is, we do that all day. You're in your subconsciousness. You don't really know what's going on, but subconsciousness is moving via programming. So we're not trying to remove your programming. I mean, we're not trying to remove your programming to put more programming in you. We're just saying give yourself an opportunity to live without any programming. So it's the deprogrammed state. That's the program I'm trying to get you to. A lot of people were trying to say, don't eat this, but eat this. Don't do this, but do this. You ain't doing nothing but taking this program out and programming me to your ass. So instead of Christianity getting you now, you got consciousness trying to get you now. You got you got all these different groups and religions and ideals trying to get you because you want to be somewhere. You don't need to be associated. Your greatest association and affiliation is to mankind. There's nothing else that you need to belong to. That's the greatest part of belonging. And I'm trying to get us to think about measuring ourselves up to our design and not to what we got. The programming is different from your design. Measure yourself up to the design, not to the program. Okay? Now, anything else you got, Kim? So my point to you is that you've already been on the journey. So when we take this off of your eyes, you're already living. It's going to frighten you, but if we can get you over the fright and the anxiety, because you weren't really worried why you was blind, but now you're gonna be worried because your eyes open and you're seeing how fast your life going. But don't be afraid, because the thing about it is, now here's the trick, and I want all y'all to listen to this. The thing about it is now that I've allowed you to see, can you still allow for you not to grab the steering wheel? If I allow you to see, can you still just stay there like you was? You blind riding. So when I uncover your eyes, still let God ride. And that's going to be the hard thing, because it's like you're trying to take control. Once I show you this, it's like, oh, I'm trying to do this and I want to do this. It's like, it's not for you to outdo somebody. It's not for you to outdo this person, outdo this with this knowledge. It's just for you to be balanced. Remember, you got 4 elements. I used to teach this a long time ago. It's not for us to be good at the fire element and just be great at the earth element and then be all right at the air element and then don't be shit in the water element. That's not right. The purpose is for you to be balanced at all elements. So just because you got a 9 in fire, yeah, you smart as hell, but you got a 0 in earth. So what good is that going to do? Because that's not the purpose. The purpose is not to be good at 1 or 2 or 3 of these 4 elements. It's to be simply balanced at all 4. So so 4 would be the median, not 9. 4 would be what is the agenda, not being happy at 7. 4 would be the agenda all across the board, and not be settling because I'm an 8 at the water element, and when I'm a 0 and a 2 at something else. So once we understand that the purpose is balance and not greatness, but to be great at balance, man, I think that we're headed toward the right way. Anybody else? Cammy, you got anything else?
Cammy, you still there? You had anything else? Who we got here? Who else we got? User 343. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. Mina, you guys are muted. Unmute them. You guys are muted. That's why we can't hear y'all. Y'all mics are muted. So we're gonna get you unmuted.
What's up with you, bro? I seen you the other day. You was doing the birthday charts.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to see if you could do my birthday chart.
Yeah, man. I definitely get you. Hold on one second. Mina B, are you good? Let me take care of Mina B. You good, Mina B?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute.
No, you good.
So this is a little hard for me, so bear with me. I did purchase the owner's manual consultation email this morning.
Okay.
But I was wondering if there is something that I can do spiritually to, I guess, overcome fear. Like fear of speaking, fear of public speaking. I'm on this journey of trying to just be myself, like not be afraid of showing who I am, and in doing that, help others do the same. But I'm still struggling internally with
just
my own fear.
Yeah, just trying to public. Just you want to do something, but in order for you to do it, you're going to have to publicly speak, and that's what's holding you back. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean that you're supposed to be doing it then? I'm gonna come real with you, Mina B.
Yeah, I feel like it is, but I keep trying to.
Nah, you gotta listen to me now. You know this right here. You have your will, okay, and then there's the will for your life, okay. And so what I'm saying is that the will for life is going to always exasperate your greatest aspects. Even if it's a learning process, it still always highlight your greatest aspects. Don't ever think that nature is going to give you something that you just cannot do. Either you need to learn something to do or this, that, and the third, but it's in your wheelhouse to do it. So what I'm saying is that you're fearful of public speaking is because of your engineering and programming of what you think you should be doing. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. So therefore, it's not necessarily for me to say that that's what you should be doing, because the only reason that you would bring that up is because of how you think about your life and what you think you should be doing. But that might not be necessarily what God really wants you to do. So I can't say that it's the best thing for you, because I see it as something that you're trying to do from your programming.
Okay.
Because the stuff that you got innately, there's some stuff that you can do. Let me watch this. User 343, bro. I got you. Hold on, real 1 second. There's something that you do already, Mina B. Let me talk to you real quick. Let me take this shit off the screen. There's something that you do already every single day. It's just that you're scared to do that. In your
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Have you ever seen Sister Act?
Yes.
There's a part in the movie where they say, girl, if you wake up every day and all you want to do is sing, then you're supposed to be a singer, sing something then, right? There is something that your ass is doing every day, but you don't think that you can make a life and living off of that. But that's you, Mina B. Not what you're trying to be big. But I'm saying if you look at what you're naturally gifted with, that's where you're going to make it big at. And it doesn't take public nothing. It's private. And when you get
I want to help people. That's my passion. It's helping others.
I'm asking you, listen to me. I'm finna get you to find it.
Okay.
There is something that you're doing every single day that you ain't catching that you're doing. I don't know if it's you sing, I don't know what it, but it's something that you are doing every day that you just feel like you're not seeing it. You want to be over here when you do this every day and you do it good. If I was to ask your friends and your mama them about the best thing that you can do, what would they say? If I came and asked Mina B mama, what's the best thing about Mina B? What's she gonna say? It damn sure ain't gonna be public speaking. It damn sure ain't gonna be public, right? So we know. So this is what I'm trying to get you. So what mama gonna say about
She'll probably say cooking
Ah!
or designing things.
You see where we going with this now?
Yeah.
But you don't want to. That's you, Mina. If you want to be popular being you, then go private. Stop trying to get big. Everybody like the. It's what you do in the private that's gonna make you big, not what you do in the public that's gonna make you big. It's whatever you're doing in the private that's gonna make you the biggest place you could be. So if everybody know you for cooking and for doing that, then go. Go and get you that restaurant and help folk that way.
Yeah.
You see how? So that's what I'm trying to get you to see is that what you got is in your wheelhouse, baby. It ain't that far off. You don't have to work that hard. You have been living long enough now that your gift is there. We just got to show you how to birth it and find it. And that's why I'm trying to get you to see there's something you already using your gift. You're trying to create a new one, but you're already using your gift. Yeah. And if you want to do something now, then go with what you got now. And that's going to be those gifts that you already got going. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Peace, peace.
All right.
All right. Yeah, man. I love my young people, man. I love my young people. All right, bro. Let's go with it, man. What you got?
12/21/81.
All right, let me get you going real quick. You said 12/41/81?
12/21/81.
I'm finna say by 12/41, but you mother born on Mars. 12/21/41.
81.
Oh, 81. Okay, I got you, but I got you. All right, so now this is your manufacturing number, man. You know, we talking owner's manual. So every owner's manual got a manufacturing date and it's got a model number. So we like to use that little jargon. So your birth date is your manufacturing number, but we're going to break it down like a life path number in order to get your model number, okay? Model numbers is just what it is. Everybody's a different model of human species. Just because you're a man don't mean that you just like the same black man down the road. Just because you're a man don't mean you just like the white man over the road. Everybody is different species, and we must quantify that, and your owner's manual will do that, okay? So the model number, we're going to break down the birthday. 12 plus 21 is going to give us 33. That's going to be 6. So we get the number 6 from the birthday and the birth month, all right? So we're going to remember that. 1981 going to eventually be 18 plus 1, which is going to be 19. 9 plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 added to the 6 is going to mean a 7. Okay, so you're a model 7 human being. Okay, now your sun sign. This is where I get people thrown out because y'all don't know about the sun signs. Everybody got 2 sun signs. You got where the sun's shining on your ass, and you got the dark spot. We got to quantify the light and the dark. Okay, so 12, normally 12/21 to 1/21, you normally on the cusp, but so you either going to be a Capricorn or you on the last day of Sagittarius. Which one?
Last day of Stag.
Okay, so you're the last day of Sagittarius. Watch this. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Every Sagittarius at the sound of my voice, alter ego is a Gemini. So I just got your light and I got your dark. So that lets me know that you like a world view, but then you also got your personal view. You know what I'm saying? You like to research things about the world, but then you also like to just do your own personal research about things you like to be interested in. So you have this duality between somebody that likes to travel and learn and be able to kind of upload and download this world perspective, while at the same time you can kind of dwindle down a little bit. Somebody that like to be isolated, somebody that like to be intellectual, but every now and then just like to be able to research and do their own little empowerment and encouragement. I can do it on this scale, I can do it on that scale. That's you. Now also the element here, the number 7 is going to represent your element. The 7 represents the water element. This lets me know that your biggest spiritual tendency, my brother, is delusion and loneliness. So you having this sense of loneliness, like don't nobody. The loneliness is about not understanding. You think folks don't understand half of the stuff you're going through because of the journey that you're going on, and maybe you're above and beyond. Especially when you're looking at this fire and air, mentally and spiritually, beyond the people around you. But don't let your mind play tricks on you and keep you isolated, or keep you feeling like nobody understands you, because there are you do got a tribe out here, and that's a trick of the mind, and that's a spiritual or emotional demonic whole. If you do that, that can start to wreak havoc on your fertility. It can wreak havoc on your hormone system. It can wreak havoc on your eyesight. Okay, Sagittarius love to have eye problems. Gemini love to have eye problems. So you want to watch out for that. Okay, so that's the biggest things about you. Now, yes, you are very intelligent. Yes, you're very spiritual, and yes, you're a very emotional brother. But you can also be an overthinker. You can also be all over the place with your belief system. And then, but then, you know, at the same time, if you're too emotional, you got to watch out for the mucus buildup in the body. Okay, you can have a lot of mucus buildup, a lot of immune system issues, and a lot of nervous system issues. That's just what I see just from that. But let me put you on the map so you'll know what part of life you're in. So Sagittarius, you're in the last day of Sagittarius. So this is my chart right here. I made these numbers. You can't go get this from nobody else but me. All right, so the last day we'll give you that day. So 4 months. So you 2 years younger than me. So that means you are 44. Or no, you'll be 44 this year. You 43, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 4 months. You did 4 months of Sagittarius, 10 years in 4 months, 20 years in 4 months, 30 years in 4 months, 40 years in 4 months, and you'll be 43 or 44 this year, right? 44?
44.
So there's 40 years and 4 months. So that means you'll be 4 years into Taurus. So for the last 3-4 years, you've been gaining and growing in your personal possessions. You probably got you a new whip, a new car, a new this, a new that, because that's the time zone you're in. Now you're also going to be here for the next 6 years, because this is a 10-year span. So get to your money. This is your money season. Taurus is your money season. Taurus is you're in the money. You're literally 3 years in the money. So if y'all looking for a Captain Saver, y'all get down here, women, where y'all use a 3 Hey, y'all go down there and get him, Johnny. Go get him. Nah, man, but hey, man, I love you, man. Look, the biggest thing about this, bro, I want you to know, though, that biggest lesson about Taurus is Taurus is really trying to get you to see the beauty, man. See how wonderful life is, bro. Life is going to treat you very well. All of the stuff that you're wanting personally is coming your way. You've already seen a just of it, but you got 6 more years to go. So enjoy yourself, bro. Get it to where you need to be and continue to move strong. But see the beauty. That lesson is about seeing the beauty of life, okay?
Thank you, bro. Peace.
Yes, sir, man. Peace, peace. All right, who we got next here is Mr. Mrs. Jody. Look like Mr. Jody. What's going on, Joe?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Oh, man, I just seen what was going on here, and I seen that you were reading people based off of their birthdays or whatnot, and I thought that was kind of cool. I also came in when you were speaking to the lady, I believe it was a lady prior, and not just things that you were saying.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to come up. I seen the request, so I just went ahead and press the button to come up.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. This is an interactive, spectrum, man. What we're trying to do is teach people how to heal themselves, and a lot of questions people have, and sometimes they go beyond the four walls of home or church or school or a doctor's office. And what we want to be able to do is get people to understand that we understand the human experience. I think that a lot of times when we get into some of these four walls, sometimes we feel like we're bigger. The person that's coming in feels like you bigger than life, like you wasn't understand. If you're a doctor, you don't understand why I drink. If you're a pastor, you don't understand why I fuck. If you're this and that, you don't understand my problem. And it's because we're losing that human touch. When we're looking at Jackie, please mute your mic. It's because we're losing that human touch when we're dealing with people. If people know that you know and you understand, you can help them better. But if you're just trying to talk to me from the doctor, therapist, from the pastor pulpit, I don't want that shit. Because that don't allow me to know that you know me. Now, if you've been through something, I'm one of the best people to teach because I've been through the stuff, man. And so that's what we're really trying to convey, man. But if you want me to do your birthday, I will, bro. What's your birthday?
I appreciate that. 11/7/86.
11/7/86, right? So what we do, man, is what we're trying to do is basically track you around this wheel of life, right? This life path, this lighted path. We just try to get people to see that this thing is very accurate about GPSing you. Now I know we got a GPS in our phone, we got one in our car, but you got one on your back, okay? And it's your birthday.
Yes, sir.
And your birthday,
Yes,
I
sir.
can track you to know exactly where you are in life. And you see why that brother giggle, because he don't want to give the goose up, because he might have your family members on him. But bro is doing very good because he's in a very good place in his life.
For sure.
And that's why he was like, damn, that shit crazy. Yeah, we know. And these are my numbers. This ain't something that I learned from no other videos or no other books. You can't go get this or find this. This comes through my loins, my brother. So for me to even be up here and telling you that God gave me this to give back to you, and for you to understand that I don't own this shit. That's why I'm giving it back. You already got it with you. You already got it with you. And watch this. 11,786, right? So we're going to break your number down as like a life path number. So 11 plus 7 is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. So we get 9 from the birth date and the birth month. So remember that 9 as we move forward. 1986 is eventually going to come down to being 18 plus 6. And that's going to lead us to 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Now 6 plus 9 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Now here it is that you're only a couple of years younger or older than that other brother, but you're a different model of a man. Y'all saw that one? You're a different model of a man. See, he was a model number 7. You're a model number 6. Off the rip, I can't treat y'all the same way. In pastoring, in ministering, in church, in school, in every life thing you do, you can't get the same prescription of life as that other brother just did. And y'all ain't nothing but a couple of years apart. And this is the importance of the owner's man. This is the very fundamental importance. Now, 1021 to 1121 is going to put you into around, what's that? That's going to be 1021 to 1121 is going to be, that's my Scorpio. That's my Sagittarius as well. Right? No, that's not my Sagittarius. That's my Scorpios. I'm sorry. That's my Scorpio. So that's your water. The alter ego of every Scorpio on the page is a Taurus. So that's your earth. And then also the element is 6. So now just because you are a Scorpio don't mean that you're a water person. Scorpio, you're the air element. So you're the type of Scorpio that sit in your car and talk to yourself, my brother. You're the type of brother that's walking through the house by yourself and you talk to yourself. That's how you get things done. That's how you get things taken care of. And what I'm telling you is do it intentionally now. Don't do it mistakenly, accidentally. Now you know. The reason why I talk to myself because I control the air element, even though I'm a water sign. You see that?
Yes, sir.
It's different. All right. So now, but your biggest thing that you got to worry about is grief and depression. If you get into a big grief and depressive state, you're going to start having immune system issues, autoimmune system issues, and respiratory issues, okay? You have a propensity to have some mucus build up because of the water. You have a propensity also to be dealing with some bone issues and some digestive issues and some skin issues. And you also have a propensity to have that autoimmune, immune, and respiratory. All of that comes from that birthday. If you're dealing with any of that, all you got to know is that we got the owner's manual for you. We'll get you the herb because herbs and foods and everything come with your reading. Now, let me go ahead and map you. Let's go ahead and map you. This is what everybody's really here for. So that we already discovered that you are a Scorpio. If a Scorpio is from 1021 to 1121, that means you did, let's say, around 14 days, right? Because we're just doing guesstimate. So you did 14 days. Now look at this: 3 years, 4 years, and 4 months. So you did 4 years and 4 months of Scorpio. You didn't even do the whole Scorpio. And on top of that, you're what, 29?
39. Well, I'm 38. Right? I'll be 39.
39? Okay, now watch this. 4 years and 4 months. 14 years and 4 months. 24 years and 4 months. 34 years and 4 months. 44 years and 4 months. 54 years and 4 months, which means that you're currently in Aries. Okay, you're currently in Aries, and you're about 5 years in Aries. So that means you're in the middle decan of Aries. If you've been dealing with any current things, have been migraines, okay? If you've been dealing with any current things, it's been migraine headaches. But you're in the middle of your self-development, my brother. You're in the middle of a self-enlightenment, self-improvement. You're working on your self-appearance. You're working on your self-identity. You've been going through that because that's just where you at. Now you're also in this selfish moment, but don't be looking at selfish as a bad thing. You're in that mode where you gotta be thinking about yourself and you're at the right place. Now, the life lesson that Aries is trying to show you before you leave out of there is that it's okay to be a little bit of dramatic, to bring a little drama to a situation can be okay depending on the situation, right? So don't be all letting things beat up on you and don't let nobody. Sometimes you got to bring the chaos in order for folks to know that you ain't playing that shit. All right. So don't let folks beat down on you, especially when we know you're not trying to be confrontational, but at the same time, this can cause for a little confrontation. Because when you're looking at life, you can't just always fight. Sometimes you're gonna have to learn how to fight. So so just know that that's what Aries is doing for you, man. But enjoy yourself. You're in the springtime of life. You're in the self and development time of your life. After you get out of Aries, which is about another 5 or 6 years, you're gonna be in your Taurus. So I don't know how old. I think that's what 54. So when you get from 54 to 64, you're coming into your money, my brother. Just live long enough to get it.
Right on.
Okay.
Right on. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir, Jody. Peace.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, Queen. I can't see the rest of the name. Queen Sam. Queen, what's going on? I can't see the rest of it.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the HerbMan show. How can I help you?
Could you read my birthday for me, please?
Yeah, what I'm reading your birthday for? What you got going on? Huh? I said what am I reading your birthday for? You, I know y'all come up on here. I'm not no psychic now. I ain't no astrologer to just read folks' birthday. I'm up here for health and healing. Okay. If you want an astrologist, there are plenty of people that do astrology, baby. I'm not an astrologer like that. Okay. I know y'all coming up here. I got to stop this shit before it get crazy. Okay. I am not your astrologer. I am not your astrologer. If you're looking for spiritual enlightenment and you're trying to get to your balance in your health, wealth, and in your life, I can do that for you. But I'm not no goddamn astrologer. Y'all ain't gonna work me like that today. Okay. All right. But if you guys are looking for something to get you through your life, holler at me, get your owner's manual, DM me. I got the information for you, but I'm not finna come up here and be doing no goddamn birthdays out there. That's not what I'm created to do. But if you're looking for healing, then you come to the right place.
Sure.
Okay.
But the thing is, with the owner's man, I'm living in Jamaica. So how would I
email me? Jamaica ain't got no jurisdiction on email. So you can email me, you can get your owner's manual. You might not be able to get the herbs, but I can put your owner's manual to where it's all referencing Caribbean herbs. So even though you can't get them from here, I'm going to give you the herb that you got, like Cersei, Strongback, Jackass Bitters, all the herbs from your region that'll be on your owner's manual. So, and it'll be your foods on your owner's manual. So you ain't got to be thinking that I'm finna give you something from America where you can't get the herbs. No, they don't do that. I'm giving you all your stuff in your region, okay?
Okay,
so that's what you want.
How would you get the payment?
You just DM me, baby. If you want to do this, DM me and we'll get you the information.
Okay, not a problem.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Jackie, how can I help you? Welcome to the HerbMan show.
Hi, HerbMan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Thank you for all you've been doing for us. You've been great.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate all the knowledge and your help. I also taken the herbs that you had given me. So far, I just want to know some insights on how's it working so far for me. I don't know if there's anything you can tell me right now.
You said that you've been taking the herbs that I gave you?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said you've been taking the herbs that I gave you? Well, you've been taking the herbs you got from your owner's manual?
Yes.
Okay, and you wanted to know what now? Because I think I heard you right, but I want you to say it again because, once a child say something again twice, that's when you get to whoop their ass. So I'm going to let you say it again, and then I'm going to whoop your ass by what you just said. So go ahead and say it again.
It's working so far. I mean, I feel a little different, but I just want some insight. It's working for me so far.
Insight about what though? What are you trying to ask me? What question do you really got?
My birthday. I want to see what's going on. Some insight on my life, what's going on. the herbs.
Yeah,
did
so
say the
so
herbs will help
so
me.
your owner's manual will tell you all of that, right? So what current position are you in? I could tell you more about that. What is your current position? Because you already got the information. You just gonna make me work for you. I already got it. I already work for you. So just tell me your current position, and I can tell you more about that. Do you know your
I just
current?
want to see where I'm going right now with my life, career-wise. Am I making the right decision? Am I on the right path?
So your main
things like
focus is
that.
career. Your main focus is career. Let me get that right. I'm gonna do you, but your main focus is career, right? Okay. So now watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this, Jackie. I'm gonna show you something. What's your birthday?
12/28/79.
12/28/79, right? Now I'm finna show you this. Now watch this. 12/28/79, and you're concerned with career. Now the reason why you're concerned with career is because you're Capricorn, but that don't mean that that's where you're at. Okay. The reason why you're concerned with career is because you're Capricorn. All Capricorns are concerned with their legacy, their public image, their career, all of them. But here's the thing: that may not be where you. That's a part of you characteristically, but that may not be where you are. Now watch this. 12/28/79. So we already know you're a Capricorn. Okay. So let's say you missed at least 7 days of Capricorn, and so that means you did 23. So 3 years, 6 years, 7 years would make 23. So you did 7 years of Capricorn. You're currently 45, right?
Yes.
So 7, 17, 27, 37, 47.
I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. Someone has their mic on. Can you ask them to mute it?
Yeah, y'all mute your mics, please. Look, so basically you're in Taurus, okay? You're in Taurus. You probably got about another year or so in Taurus because you're about to age out of Taurus. So for the last 8 or 9 years, you should have been seeing some progress as far as building your personal possession. You are in that particular time of Taurus, which means that you should have been getting your money, you should have been getting your car, your house, you should have been adding on to yourself in these last few years. Is that not what you've been doing? Because that's where you at.
Yeah, so far.
Okay,
I haven't got
so
my own house yet, though. Working on
well,
that.
it don't matter. You still got a little bit of time left. But my point is that you're in a self-development time of your life. You're in spring. You're literally in Taurus. So Aries is a self-development of self. Taurus is a self-development of personal possession. So you grow in personal possession. First, you grow in self-knowledge. Then you grow in personal possession. Then you grow in self-communication, how you talk with self and the people close to you. Then you move on to some other things like family. Then you move on to life and love. Then you move on to health. So you see, these are progressions of a person's development. So you're growing in your personal possessions, but that don't mean that you're supposed to have everything. Okay. And this ain't got nothing to do with job or career per se, more than it got something to do with just you growing in the things that you want and the things that matter to you. You're getting those things right now. So the question for me would be to you is, however you've been getting this Taurus these last few years, that's probably what your career need to be in.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Whatever has been getting you this game is the thing that you should probably focus on to continue to keep getting you the game. But what I'm saying is the career part of you, that's not what you're in. The personal possessions is different from a job, because it doesn't matter if you had a job or not, you're going to still go through this, meaning that people, places, and things will still go and help you grow and develop your personal possessions. It don't have nothing to do with a job, okay? Jobs ain't the reason for personal possession. When personal possession comes, it's going to get you what you need regardless of what you got, because that's just a part of life. So what I'm saying to you is that you're not in career mode, you're in personal possession mode. So just keep getting your personal possessions, not worrying about do you got to have a 9 to 5 or some kind of structure, because that's what you're fearful of because you that Capricorn in you. But look at what you're getting now and remember this, because this is the last time you're going to be in Taurus. So however you've been getting it, I would stay focused on that.
Okay.
I would stay focused on what you're doing now.
On that.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely. Yes, ma'am. All right, peace.
All right. Okay.
All right, welcome to the HerbMan Show, Miss ZZ. How you doing? I sent the request. How did this work? Yeah, you put me in the chat, Hollywood. Put me in the chat, and one of my moderators will come up and bring you up. Okay, me in the chat. Miss
Hi,
ZZ.
how are you? My name is Sandra.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Sandra? How you doing?
I'm fine.
Well, welcome to the HerbMan Show.
I
How
was
can I help you?
Hi, I've been watching for a while. I was coming on because I did see you doing these readings the other day, but I know it's for health and other things in life, and
Y'all ain't
that's
gonna
what
let
I'm
me be
going
great
through
though.
right
See,
now.
y'all ain't gonna let me be great. Y'all ain't gonna let me do it for help. Y'all still talking about love and money. Lord, mercy.
Oh no, no, no.
Love and money. Love and
No,
money.
I'm a diabetic. I'm trying to get my health together right
Nah.
now. I done lost 50 pounds. I'm just trying to get the right things to stay on track.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So give me your birthday. Let me see what they got.
3/27/1975.
All right, 327.75. All right. So 327.75. That lets me know from 321 to 421. That makes your Aries, right? So okay, you probably missed
Yes.
about 6 days of Aries. So we'll give you 24. All right. So 24 is gonna be 3 years, 6 years, 7 years, and 4 months. So you did 7 years and 4 months in Aries. You're currently 50. So 7, 17, 27, 37, 47. You're 3 years into Virgo. Okay, you're 3 years into Virgo. So therefore, Virgo is the last 3 years you've been on your health journey. Since you moved into Virgo, you've been on your health journey. Now, Virgo, all these things, life lessons, they last 10 years. So you got 7 more years to go where you're going to be really, really honing in on your consciousness of your health, this, that, and the third. Now, the reason why this is big is because I just told you in your health bubble. Okay. So therefore, this right here, Virgo, the last 3 years, if there's been issues, it was issues with your appetite. Now, when you move forward, you can start having issues with your stomach and your digestion. So therefore, you're here, and that means that you can't go nowhere. So if you don't know how to maneuver, then you're just gonna run into these problems because you can't jump out of Virgo. That's where your life is at. Health and fitness is a focal point to you. Now, the life lesson for you, Miss ZZ, with all the stuff that you got going on, is yes, you do need to be more restrictive. You need to have more boundaries around what it is that you're eating and the things that you're doing in your life. You need to have more boundaries. That's what Virgo is trying to teach you. If you don't create the boundaries, you will go into more of a health spill because you're in the health part of life. Okay, Ms. Zizi? Okay.
Yes,
So
I
remember
understand
that the life lesson is telling you to be more restrictive. You're really going to have to do that because when you're dealing with diabetes, I tell people on my show that's a self-control issue. So if diabetes is a
Right.
self-control issue and it coming from the digestive system, and Virgo is the digestive system telling you to be more restrictive. So the ailment is the self-control. The cure is to be more restrictive. It ain't got nothing to do with herbs.
Right.
And I can tell you why you're doing it, but I don't do that on the show. I don't get that personal on the show until y'all get your owner's man or until you call me on the telephone. I can tell you what's going on with you because I can already see what's about to happen in him. So we already know something from the. You know what I'm talking about. So you're almost in transition right here. So that means that either some health or some relationship stuff is going to come on you more. Yeah, I know. Don't be laughing because you know I'm done. I'll give you more about another. Matter of fact, you almost there, but I'm gonna say about 51. Because what I say 50, it was 47. So 47 plus 5 is 52. So 2 more years you'll be in transition from 52 to 62. So when you're in transition, that's when you really need to be careful about what we're talking about with your digestive system and health. And then that's also when you need to be on the lookout for your little Boaz over here that you're talking to. You're gonna come up from your past. All right, Miss ZZ, peace. All right, peace. I already know what y'all want. All right. Yeah, but the bottom line is, guys, yes, it is in here. Money is in Taurus, love is in Libra, your health is in Virgo. Yes, it's here, it's there. But my thing to you is that it doesn't matter if the biggest thing I'm trying to teach you about is consciousness. If you're not in your right mind, you're going to continue to make mistakes at every level of money, of relationships, of whatever.
So just because I tell you this, it's just like me giving you $1 million without financial literacy. It doesn't matter. All right. L Precious, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help?
Thanks for having me up.
Hey, yes.
Listen, yes, for years, since 1995, I struggle with allergies. I guess my skin itching so bad, and even now that we're transitioning to fall now, it's getting worse. What can I do to correct that? I don't want a Band-Aid.
So you say you've been struggling with it since when?
1995.
So since 1995. Now I'm going to take you back in time, okay? So since 1995, around 1993 and 94, okay? We're talking about skin issues, but follow me. Between 1993 and 94, were you having problems in your home and family? Something with your mama or something with your children? Was that going on around the time before you got the diagnosis in 95?
No. And probably around 91, my grandmother passed.
I'm looking at 93 and 94. Was there? Did you have kids around that time?
No, I'm 86 when I had my child.
86, you had your children. Was mom living around this time?
Yes.
Okay. Did y'all have a good relationship around this time?
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. And so there was no other major events that happened in these 2 years.
Not anything I can put my finger on.
Okay. So when you had your skin breakouts in 93 and 94, right? We ain't talking about 95. The years before that, were you eating anything crazy? Were you doing anything crazy? I mean, how was life? Because what I'm trying to get you to see is this. And this is why I'm asking you these questions. If you got something that can't be, you done tried all these different things and it just keep on ailing, you keep coming back and forth. Even if you go to the doctor, get skin cream, get medication, you go to the herbalist, get stuff, and it just keep on coming back. Well, it's not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. And the reason why I'm asking you about home and family, because the skin is talking about cancer, right? The cancer ain't talking about cancer disease. We're talking about cancer zodiac. This is standing for home and family. Whether there's some home and family issues or affairs going on. Now, it don't have to be, but at the same time, this is representing the integumentary system, which is your skin. So what I'm saying is, what emotionally brought this on to you? That's why I ain't asking about food and asking about drink. I asked about them last. We asked about love life, family life, because this is an emotional thing. The water element, the cancer is a water element, it's emotions. So if you get your emotions or your hormones out of balance so much that you get these flare-ups, and that's why it can't be cured, because medication can't deal with the emotions. So it's the emotion. I'm just trying to figure out, where did the emotion come from? So the first thing for me is just ask about home and family. But at the end of the day, I would tell you to go more deeper into the emotional side of your life in order to find out the cure. Because obviously it ain't in man-made stuff. It ain't in something because you've already took some stuff. That's why I don't want to offer you nothing else. We got to go deeper. And so to go deeper is to talk about your life. Okay? So do you have your owner's manual?
Yes, I do.
Well, it should tell you right now. If it's in there, then it's going to be allocated to what? If the water element is there, it's going to be allocated to your reproductive system. So it's going to say guilt and unforgiveness, or then it's going to say delusion and loneliness. Okay? So those are the emotions that you can kind of pinpoint out of that. It's going to say guilt or unforgiveness. Either you have an inability to forgive folks yourself, or you holding on to guilt, or it's going to be delusion and loneliness. It's going to be one of them two. So when you go back on now, you can call me, and then you can let me know if the skin issues is there. And then once you let me know that, then we'll go ahead. I mean, it's the same thing. I'm going to tell you the same thing. But if you want to call me, then I can allocate to you perfectly with your owner's manual, because you already got the information. You want me to fish for it, but it's already on your manual.
Yeah, it's already on your manual.
Thank you.
So once you call me, I'll know it from now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, peace. All right, Stardust, what's happening?
Good day.
Hey,
I just want to say great teaching today. And I love when I get to catch you on live. I'm from the Bahamas and I don't really have much people in my area that teaches and does the things that you guys do online. So I'm very happy when I do get to catch you on live.
I appreciate that. We do got a lot of love from our Caribbean family. I mean, all over the world, not just in Jamaica, not just in Trinidad and in some of the other Caribbean spots, but I mean, they can be in UK, they could be anywhere, and it's like they know me. It's almost like they understand what I'm doing, and I love it. I love that. I love the love that I'm getting. From the United States and just all over the place, man. But a lot of the love I'm getting from the Caribbean and a lot of the older people, and I say that to say that people know real from fake. People don't try so much stuff. They are at their wits' end, and they're also being more discerning. They know what the possibilities can be. And I was listening to a guy the other day. He was from the Caribbean, and there was a young lady come up there and said she had thyroid problems. And because he was from the Caribbean, obviously he had a boatload full of people in his life. But the thing was he gave that person the wrong information. So you can be from places and you can look like something and you can sound like something. But I'm trying to get people to go off not their thinking caps, but their spirit caps, to be able to understand how to actually unite with your tribe is not a thought process, it's a spiritual movement. And so when we able to get these connections all over the planet like that, it really starts to fortify that what we're doing is the right thing, and we're bringing people together from all over the globe with a unified front of we don't got to shit on religion, we don't got to shit on nobody, to be able to uplift and impact everybody. And so I don't have to be anti nothing to be pro everything. And so that's what we're trying to promote. But go ahead, Stardust, let me know what you need.
Yes, and I love that. I love the whole message, and I can't wait for peace and love to just spread amongst the whole world, so we could all notice we are one instead of everybody individual. Yes. But I do love the health side, and I suffer from PCOS. I'm not sure if you are familiar with it, but doctors say it's no cure, and they never diagnose the cause of it. So I was trying to figure out if it's a natural way to deal with it, or is there a spiritual reason that you get it in the first place?
Yeah.
Now I have my guesses towards what actually has happened to most women, why they get it. But I just wanted to see your view on it.
I'm finna confirm it for you. So when did you got diagnosed with PCOS? What year?
Maybe around 2014, 2015.
Okay, so then you already know what was going on 2013, 2012, because the few years before is when you really get into that bad situation, right? Remember that women are going to hold relationship woes and issues in their private areas, right? You're going to hold in your uterus, you're holding your ovaries. That's just what it is. So right here between 2012 and 2013, to me, that's where it all started. You went through some kind of relationship woe right there. It may be a few years before, maybe a few years after that.
I actually think it's trauma from much younger. And I don't really want to go into details on live.
So you think you had it even
younger? That's what keeps popping in my head.
You think you had it even around? So you might have had it before then. That just you knew about it.
Yes, because my cycles never was normal like a regular person. Even from the first time I got it 1 month and then didn't have it for another basically year. So I know it was always a problem. So I think it's probably from childhood if it's leaning towards what I think it's from.
Yeah, that's it, and this is what it is. That was gonna be it anyway. I was just trying to get a time frame. You gotta forgive him, baby. You gotta forgive him, baby. You gotta forgive him. I know it's hard, but it's killing you. It's eating you up. And I'm pretty sure this has hampered you with fertility. It's hampered you with what you're trying to do to live on and move on. Yeah, you gotta forgive him.
I'm 32 now and I have no kids yet. And I've been through a lot of different traumas, a whole different bunch of stuff. So
you gotta forgive.
It's just,
So now let me teach you how to do it, right? So we know what it is, but let's teach you how to do it. So when I'm saying forgive, that don't mean that you got to go find the person and ask for their forgiveness. It don't mean that. See, so have you ever been to the doctor and has the doctor ever told you that PCOS got you, or do it says that you got PCOS?
I have it. I got PCOS.
Stardust, listen to what you said. Now let it go. Girl, let it go. You got it. You got PCOS. Yes. PCOS ain't got you. You were holding on to PCOS. I learned about my spirituality, it's a whole different outlook on life. And, let it go. I think I'm working on it. Yeah. I don't know, if my journey and what because everything I do from, what my soul feels now, after I learned about spirituality. So I think I'm feeling even the thing, if I give you herbs and you don't get emotion, they're gonna come back. If I give you the herbal remedies and all that, you can get them out. Obviously, their PCOS is easy to do, but it's an emotional thing, it's a hormonal thing, and therefore you got to control that aspect of it. So that means that you got to control your hormones, you got to control how you allow that particular incident to program you into feeling a certain way. Yes, that person took something from you, but you can gain it back. And what you do is you gain it back in your emotional life. Because again, people are coming into this paradigm. They just like lion, tigers, and bears. You ain't got to be out in the jungle to be a prey. People are prey upon you, and they are the lions and tigers and bears of life. So life can prey on you, and they can take away a lot of different things, and you can live with those things. And you'll think that you got over it. You'll think that this and that. And the reason why it's so easy to cure PCOS, but you have to be able to release what is causing the growth. And what's causing the growth on your ovaries is your emotions being in that growth factor moment. That means that you're giving instructions to it. So that means that when you're pouting, when you're depressed, when you're anxious, you're eating stuff you ain't got no business eating. You can be drinking stuff you ain't got no business drinking. And it's all just to be coping with this emotional craziness that's going on within you. And we got to be able to resolve that, all right? She got a call, y'all. So we're gonna let her go. But that's what's all it's about. No, I understand that. I said I just declined. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. So that's all it is. That's all it is. And you see people on here saying, "Look, I recovered. I had my son." So you got time. Somebody seeing you on my live, Stardust. They like, look here. I see you up there, girl. Okay, but I gotta answer this call. Thank you so much for the insight. Yeah, no problem. If you need me, DM me and we'll get you the information, okay? I got you. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. All right, y'all. Who we got? Miko. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm all right. I'm concerned of health. I've been dealing with stomach problems, inflammation.
Stomach problems.
And my birthday is 4/14/79.
4/14/79.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just see what we got going on. So 4/14/79, we'll say 3/21 to 4/21. So you still an Aries. 14, you did about 7 days there. So that's 1 year, 2 year, and 4 months. So you did 2 years and 4 months here. You're born in 79. You're 46 years old. So that's 2 years and 4 months, 12 years and 4 months, 22 years and 4 months, 32 years and 4 months, 42 years and 4 months. And you're how old?
46.
46. So you've been in Virgo for 4 years. I can't make this stuff up. I keep teaching this over and over and over. So y'all know that she's in Virgo in 4 years. She's in the middle decan, and that's headed towards your stomach. You got stomach problems. And so, but because of that, you also have been trying to figure out how you want to do things with your health in the same last 4 years. So it's like you've been health conscious because you needing to be because of the issues. But I'm telling you, you're in Virgo. So yes, you are in your health and fitness state. And the way to cure this is you need to learn how to have more boundaries and be more restrictive. Okay, Miko?
Okay.
You got to learn how to be more restrictive because that's the cure for what you got going on there. All right. Now, if you need herbs and stuff like that, obviously we'll get you that and stuff like that. Now, at the end of the day, because you said digestive and you're in Virgo, I know that that's the real reason why you're going through what you're going through. But I'm telling you that, yeah, you can get herbs for it. We got those herbs if you get your owner's manual, but also just taking it in to know, okay, he said I'm in Virgo. I'm just at this part of life to where I need to be more restrictive, need to have more boundaries because he just told me Virgo going to deal with my appetite, my stomach, and my digestion. So I got 3 years of appetite issues, 3 years of stomach, and 3 years of digestion if I don't pay attention to it. But now, because it's been highlighted, hopefully you'll do more to know that that's just where you're at and you're needing to focus on this area.
Okay.
Okay.
How about love?
Love. So love is coming. Love is coming, but it's after you get your health issue together. But love is coming. So if this is 40, if this is 42, then 52, you make that transition into Libra. I'm going to say because you're making it now, it's going to be somebody from your past. It's going to come back in around 52. So the thing about it here is you're in, you can be in transition of starting. So let's say 2, 12, 22, 32, 42. So between 47 and 57, you're going to be in transition. 47 to 57. Okay. So you ain't started the transition. Well, you say what? Yeah, you my age. So you ain't started transition yet. So one more year, you're going to start seeing things change. But you want to make them change for the good because transition can be a storm. And we can't stop the storm, but we can prepare you for it. Okay? Oh, okay. So you can see something happen in your health, good or bad. You just got to know that something coming, so you got to be prepared for it. And thank God that you called today, so we can get you the information that you need to pay more attention to it, so it don't turn out to be nothing crazy. But when you make it through that, when you get about 52 years old, little joker that you know somebody, you already know who he is. He coming from your past.
Okay.
Yeah, you already know who he is.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so yes, we do. We know if it's coming from the future. We know if it's coming from the past. All right. This represents the past. This represents the future. Okay. So some people can be getting people from the past going into the future. You can find somebody new. Some people can come from the future and find somebody from the past. So that's how we know. All right. So that's why I'm accurate in that. Go ahead, Mimi.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for having me up. Well, I was interested in the show. I have stomach issues, dealing with a doctor diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and I deal with like depression. And my date of birth is 10/11/80.
10/11/80. Well, off the rip, I can tell you just by what you're telling me though. You dealing with grief and depression. Okay. Yeah, there's something going on in your life between grief and depression that's causing those issues. Just if you come up here and tell me that I don't got to do this, but if you don't tell me nothing, just give me your birthday, I got to find it out. But if you just come up here and just say it like it's easy for me I can tell you off the rip based on your disease what's going on. So yes, that's going to be grief and depression. But let's go ahead and work you out. Let's see where you at. So 9/21 to 10/21 is going to represent that Virgo. Now, how many times have we been through here? Virgo is about your stomach and your digestive system. Okay, so now that's who you are. So that's where you come from. So 9/21 to 10/21. Let's say you did 10 days. So that's gonna be 3 years. So you did 3 years of Virgo. Okay, so now you're gonna and you're 45, or at least you're gonna be 45, right? Now your birthday's gonna come up tomorrow. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. All right. So we look, we're gonna go ahead and give you a birthday party today, and then they go ahead and call you 45. Okay, so it's 3 years, it's 13 years, it's 23 years, 33 years, 43 years. So you are 2 years into Aquarius. Okay, 2 years into Aquarius. So being 2 years into Aquarius, if it's been some immediate stuff, there's been something going on with your arms in the last 2 years. If it's been immediate,
If it ain't been immediate, then what's happening is you're in the beginning phase. It's some group you just joined or some social. It's something that you just some kind of group or something that you just joined in the last 2 years. Now I don't know if this group is about community involvement or some kind of networking that you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to get into some kind of networking with people. But that's the Aquarian. That's the Aquarian, right? So if you're trying to do that, that's fine. Get your information. But this life lesson is trying to show you to show more of your mind. So if you're in this little thing right here where you're trying to give back, if you're trying to help somebody, if you're into some kind of group that's trying to do that, that's fine. But show them your mind. Show them your mind. That's what that particular life lesson is all about. The biggest thing, though, about the digestive system is just merely that just you're a Virgo. It sounds like to me you probably been had some kind of issues probably for a long time because you're a Virgo. But this is the thing. So Virgo is the Earth. The opposite of Virgo is the Pisces. So that's the water sign. 10, 11 is 21. That's 3. Okay. 1980 is eventually going to be 18. That's 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So you're model number 3, which is going to mean that this is going to be the fire element. So you probably got a lot of candles around your house. But at the end of the day, the fire element means that you can be very prone. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Self-control issues. Self-control issues. That's what's causing you the digestive problems. That's what's causing you the blood sugar, liver, gallbladder, whatever it is going on is because of the self-control issues. That's your biggest spiritual tendency. Now, yes, you're doing stuff off the grief and depression, but that's your biggest spiritual tendency right there, the self-control. And so if you're having this irritable bowel, if you're having this immune system, because inflammation is immune, I'm going to still go toward more grief and depression, but watch out for this. Because this is your biggest one. You can step your foot into any one of them. But grief and depression is the one. And I don't know how long you've been dealing with that. But if it's been a long time, then that means that it's because you haven't gotten over what's going on. So how do you properly grieve? Because autoimmune disease is incurable, right? According to them. Irritable bowel syndrome, all this stuff. So how do I get over it? They just told me they ain't got no medicine for it. But there is a cure for it. It's in your emotions. So what you're going to have to do is start to go back to that grief and depression and release it. Just like I told the other young lady. They didn't tell you that IBS got you. They said that you have IBS. So you let it go.
Yeah.
Okay? You let it go. And it's going to be because of grief and depression. So once you can grieve and get that depression state taken care of, all the other elements will go away. I'm a living proof. I healed myself of ulcerative colitis, which is also an irritable bowel syndrome, immune syndrome, and I'm cured. And that was an incurable. Okay. So if you do need something, though, if you do need stuff, foods and the remedies are all in your owner's manual. So DM me, we'll get you that information.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Hollywood, man. We got to get up out of here. What's going on? Welcome to the HerbMan Show. Hollywood, you in the building. We got to get up out of here. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Greetings. Thank you. This is my first time for spiritual enlightenment career.
Okay, give me your birthday.
So I too.
Oh, okay. You say you in health and wellness as well?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're going in and out. You say you're in health and wellness as well. I think I heard that.
Yeah, I put my birthday in the chat just in case you can't hear me.